Hi, this is Stefano of Mel365, and in this guide I'm going to explain you all the most important things about Coron, from how to arrive there to where to stay and everything else you really need to know. The first thing, how to arrive to Coron. There are basically three ways to arrive to Coron. The first way is to take a flight to Coron Airport, which is right in the middle of the main island, which is called Busuanga. From there you can take a van straight to Coron town, if you have accommodation in Coron town, or any other accommodation you booked. Usually the accommodation includes also the transportation, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's always best to ask the hotel what do they include. Another way to arrive to Coron is by boat from El Nido, which is in the northwest part of the main island of Palawan. It takes about 5 hours to 6 hours, even if I advertise actually 3 hours. But believe you me, they will not make it in 3 hours. One of the main reasons is the sea, which can be quite rough. And if you feel seasick quite easily, probably it's not the way to come to Coron. The third way is to take actually a flight from El Nido to Coron. There is only one company that flies to Coron from El Nido, and this is Swift, Swift. Now, because it's only one, there is no competition, so expect the prices to be a little bit higher than you think. In saying that, I booked about 4 months in advance my flight from Coron to El Nido, and the cost of the flight was probably 1.5 times the cost of the boat. So if you book well in advance, you can still get good prices. Let's get to point number 2, what kind of experiences you can do in Coron. Coron, it's just amazing to be used as a base to visit all of the archipelago around, all of the islands. The tours that start from Coron are just incredible. Tour A, B, C and D, which is quite common, I must say, in the Philippines. Wherever you go, you always have a sequence of tours like A, B, C and D. And what works best? Any tour is good, I must say. I've done all of them, and what I enjoyed the most probably was the tour C, C2, which was going through the island, through the most spectacular island close to Coron. It took a little bit to go there, about 2 hours on navigation, but definitely was worth the trip. The other thing that you can do in Coron is obviously diving, and there are shipwrecks everywhere. There are about actually 25 if I remember well. And if you like diving, definitely this is a place you have to come. Don't come here with the basic PADI diving license, because you can't go under 18 meters, which means you will not be able to get to most of these shipwrecks, which are below 25 into the 40 meters underwater. So if you think about coming to Coron for diving, it's better you license to the second level. In this way you will be able to do all of the shipwrecks that you want. Which takes me to point number 3 of Coron. Food. Coron is a bit still of a local community, which means there are international restaurants, there are Italian restaurants, there are Korean restaurants, but still you can find quite a good mix of Filipino restaurants too. And at a very good price, I must say. One of the best restaurants I tried, I would like to suggest, is Mama, which is on the main street in Coron. It can be a little bit noisy because of the traffic, but absolutely great food and fantastic service, besides having a good price. Another place I would suggest you is Epic Cafe, which is in the secondary street, and in this case what you get is A1 latte or coffee and lovely breakfast. Very healthy with yogurt and local fruit. That's what you want to start the day. Believe it or not, the best food I had was during the trips, during the tours. They have incredible fish straight from the market, or they fish it themselves. They prepare salads, they prepare shrimps. Oh, so much choice and so much food too. Fresh fruit, obviously. So I was really surprised by the quality of the food into the tours. And one thing that surprised me the most actually is that the price of the tour is just slightly above the price of the food, of the same food that you can get in a restaurant. If I would go in a restaurant to eat that kind of food, probably I would pay 400 pesos, and there are some of the tours that go down to 750 to 900 pesos. So overall, the cost of a tour, if you think the food is included, is not that much. Point number 4, where to stay in Coron. Now, I organize a full guide, which I will put here, about where to stay in Coron. Coron, the island, which main island is called Busuanga, and when you arrive to the airport is about 30 minutes from Coron town. There are 4 places, 4 areas where you can stay in Coron. One is Coron town itself, and probably is the best location if you are in Coron only for the tours, because you have easy access to all of the boats. The second possibility is to stay in the north coast, or a few islands next to the north coast, off the north coast. And in this case, you are more into isolation and relax. Then there is the west coast. Again, you are more into isolation here. You are about 40 minutes from Coron town. On the west coast, you have access also to boat tours, and especially if you travel as a couple, then this is a great spot. It's very romantic. It's really far away from everything. It's more if you want to spend 2-3 days having your own time and relaxing. The other possibility is to stay in one of the islands, which is south of Coron town. I was, for example, in Discovery Island, which is 15 minutes from Coron town, very handy. I could go to every single tour in the morning starting from the town. Or you can even get more isolated, one of the other islands south of Coron, maybe 1 hour from Coron, half an hour, or even 2 hours from Coron. If you go into my video, I told you before, I show you also a map, and I give you more indication of what I'm talking about. Plus, I wrote also a post which I will put into the description with a few hotels suggestions. And this takes me to point number 5, how to move around Coron. There are 3 ways. The first way, which is the easiest way, is to take one of the tricycles. There are tricycles everywhere. You just raise your hand and someone will stop in a matter of seconds. The beauty of that is that it's easy. You don't pay that much. Usually you pay between $2 and $3, even $1, based on how long will be your trip on the tricycle. You can even rent a tricycle for the whole day, and that will cost you between $20 and $30, but the tricycle will stay with you. For example, you can go to the Concepcion Falls, which is 40 minutes from Coron town, and you can go by a tricycle there. The second possibility is to rent your scooter. You rent your scooter. There are plenty of shops in town where you can book it, or you can take it on the same day. The cost is around 500 pesos, which is around $10 per day, but you can rent it only for 4 hours or 2 hours. So you can scale down based on the number of hours you really need your scooter. If you rent your scooter close to the square, to the main square, probably you're gonna pay a little bit more, around 700. So it's worth it to walk on the main street and find one of the shops. The third possibility is to take a van, air-conditioned van. In this case, you have to organize it from your resort. They will do it for you. And point number 6, communication, internet. So I struggle a lot. Initially, I didn't want to. I thought about not taking the SIM card, the local SIM card, and go for Wi-Fi at the hotel. Luckily, I got the SIM card at the airport. They give it actually for free in one of the terminals. Whatever terminals you take from Manila, you have either Globe or one of the other provided. offering these SIM cards for free. It's always good to take it, you never know. And then with an SMS, or you can go to one of the kiosks and top up your internet account, which means you can put more gigabyte based on the traffic that you need or you want. It doesn't cost that much. If I remember well, it was 150 pesos or $3 per day or every 2 days. So it was actually a good deal if you need internet. Wi-Fi is everywhere, but there is no internet. All internet is super slow, which means you can connect to the Wi-Fi, but then whenever you do a search, even Google, we provide the results in about 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Uploading an image always was a problem in all of the results I was. So I definitely gave up. I had my SIM card, and that was my way forward. Point number 7. Language. Everyone in Philippines talks English. There is no issue in communicating, in asking to someone, information or where to go or any of the tools. Even, the kids, I'm traveling with a little kid, 5 years old, and he was playing with the other kids, and they could communicate with a little bit of English, 6 years old, 7 years old. So it was a good surprise to see a country where basically they are bilingual. Very well done, Philippines. And this takes me to point number 8, which is photography. I had an incredible experience with my photography. If you follow my channel, if you follow my website, you know my passion for photography. It's incredible here, the photos that you can do. I must say that the drones probably is the gear to have in the Philippines, in Coron, because the view that you can have from the top is just outstanding. The colors of the sea are incredible. It's difficult to give justice with a camera from a boat or from the beach. The best way is really to use the drone. In my case, I had the drone, the last release of the Mavic Mini, and 250 grams only. With the battery, it comes out at and the controller, it comes out at 440 grams, which I could put in my bag, and was perfect solution. I also enjoy taking photos with my Sony A7 and my camera, but I must say, when you are in Coron, you spend most of the time meters, if not centimeters, from the water. Take with you a waterproof bag where you can put your camera. This is very important. And here I come with point number 9, cost. Don't think the Coron is super cheap. It has a good price. You could rent and live in accommodation for about $50 a day, which was good, but that was it. It's difficult to go down, to $5 or $10 unless you compromise with accommodations, and obviously you have to share your room with someone else. Food-wise, you spend between $5 and $15 based on what you want to eat. If you stay with Filipino food, for sure it's cheaper, but if you go into international food, pizza or anything, then you go easily into the $10. For a beer, you spend about $1, which is absolutely good price, sometimes $2. Overall, I would say is cheap enough, but not super cheap. And this takes me to my conclusion about Coron. I had a really incredible time. Number one reason to come here obviously are the tools, and this is an incredible spot. It's a paradise. You can spend here between 5 and 7 days easily and enjoy every single day. And that's it. I recommend to subscribe to my channel, and you can see here other videos that I made, and there is a full playlist about Palawan. See you in the next video.